Everyone, Mr. and Mrs. Bazicki here to talk to you about your candy chromatography lab that you'll be doing.
All right, so chromatography is the process of separating a mixture of color or particle size. We're going to be doing this using M&Ms and Skittles and a coffee filter as the filter paper.
So you'll take the information that you get from watching the video as well as from the Google form template and then use that information to fill out your lab report.
Hope you guys have a great time, and if you need some help, we are available every day in our Google Meet from 2 to 2:30. See ya!
All right, so now that I've got my candies set up like this, I'm going to add a little bit of water to each one, and then I'm going to kind of mix it around and try to get some of that color off of that candy, all right? Just a couple of drops. Now we're going to let that sit for a couple minutes and let those candies go. Then we'll come back and I'll show you how to put it on the filter paper. Alright, so now I'm going to show you how to label your filter papers. So the first one I'm going to do is M&Ms. And the second one is going to be Skittles. Now, the papers that I'm using are just regular coffee filters that I cut up. So pretty easy. This is something you could actually do at home, and it should be really fun. So notice I'm also writing in pencil, right? That's because if you do this in pen, the pen will also actually bleed through the paper and you won't be able to see your results. So I'm gonna actually do the Skittles one, M&M's one first actually. And I'm gonna put a line at the bottom of my filter paper. And what that's gonna do, that's gonna tell me how high the water line should go. See, so I'm gonna write all my stuff below this. So above that line, I'm gonna draw a dot here. I have 6 colors, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I'm going to label them. So red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and brown. And I'm also going to put the labels at the top just in case. Sometimes, even though I use pencil, depending on the type of lead, you can get a little bit of bleeding with that as well. So I'm going to label it like this, so you can all see that. Sweet, right? And then I'm going to add a little bit of each color right above that dot. So I'm going to take my red, and it did get mixed with the orange a little, so I'm going to try to make sure I grab some from here. And I'm going to put a little dot. And it's going to take a little while, all right? Basically what you're going to do is you're going to dab like this so that you get like a little dot of the red color. And the closer that you get to the actual M&M or Skittle, the more color you're going to get, all right? And I'm going to do the same thing for the orange. All right. And then I'm going to do the same thing for all the other colors, for the M&Ms and for the Skittles. And when I'm done, I should have a bunch of different colors across, and then we'll get to the next part. So I will fast forward ahead, and we will get to see what this looks like when it's complete. All right, so as you can see, our 2 papers are complete. Here they are. We've got our M&Ms, we've got our Skittles. And now I'm going to take these 2 papers and I'm going to put them into a mason jar like this. Notice there's a little bit of water in there. Right? I'm going to take that paper, I'm going to fold it just a little bit, just so that it kind of stands upright. Okay. Then I'm going to place it into the jar so that the water goes below. And there we go, just really carefully. Below where those dots are. Okay, I don't want the water to go up to the dot, because if it does, then the dots are actually going to go down. Right? Liquid's going to go down. Right? Do the same thing for my Skittles. Okay. Kind of prop it up there. All right. And then I'm going to take this so that you can actually see kind of what these look like. All right. So I'm going to leave these set, and we're going to see what happens over the next 20 minutes.
All
are completely dry, I have measured each of these lines with my meter stick. Right, so here is my meter stick. Notice it goes up by centimeters, and then it also goes up by millimeters. So each of those little tiny lines is a millimeter. So when I put my stick here to measure, right, you can see I start at the very bottom where that color first starts, and I measure up to where it ends. So here you can see if I start down here and go up here, my first number is about 3.2. And that's what I have for my first value here, 3.2 centimeters. I repeated that for all of my different lines that were made through my colors. And you'll notice there's a big variety. You're going to notice that red was kind of in the middle here, and then your blue was very, very low, only 0.5. You can barely see that blue. Yellow was really high, as well as green, and then for Skittles, your green was high and yellow was very low. So this can tell you a lot of things, but the one main thing I want you to think about is, do you think they're using the same dyes for M&Ms and Skittles based on this data? So what I mean is the red coloring that's used for M&Ms the same red coloring that's used for Skittles? Well, if they're traveling through the paper at different lengths, that means that the size of the molecules is actually going to be slightly different. So I would suggest that that might not be the case. And when you write your conclusion, I want you to think about that, and I want you to look at this data carefully as you're going through. Alrighty, now we are going to move on. You are going to be filling out your chart using the data below, and then you're going to write your conclusion. So I will read these out to you and help you guys fill out your chart. Alrighty, so here is our data table, and we are going to fill that in together. So we're going to start with M&Ms. I did omit the blue M&M because there's not really a Skittle to compare the blue one to. I guess you could compare it to the purple Skittle, but the purple Skittle is more similar to the brown M&M as far as color. So here is our little strip of filter paper here. So we're just going to fill in our chart. So if you notice, our red went 3.2 centimeters. All right. The orange went 4.7 centimeters. The yellow is 5.5 centimeters. The green is 4.5 centimeters. And finally, our brown is 4.3 centimeters. Right? So that is our data for the M&Ms. Okay. Now we're going to look at our Skittles data. All right. And this method, again, is used a lot in forensic science. So if you take a forensics class like the one that I teach, you will learn about this and how it's used a lot of times in chemicals to determine what kind of chemical killed somebody, like in a poisoning. You can use it to determine what kind of chemicals are present in a substance, especially an unknown substance. You can also use it to determine if the same pen was used or marker or things like that. Let's say a criminal used a marker and then, he used the same marker later. You can actually compare it, the two markers, based on their chromatography line like this. All right, so Skittles, will notice that the red is 2.2 centimeters. The orange is 1.7 centimeters. The yellow is 0.6 centimeters. The green is 4.7 centimeters, and finally the purple is 1.8 centimeters. If you're wondering about my Band-Aid, I sliced my finger open, opening a can of beans. So that is why I have a Band-Aid on my finger, just in case you want to know. It's fine, don't worry. All right, so that's our data. You're going to use that data to help you write your conclusion, and hopefully you had some fun watching this lab, and enjoy the rest of your day, you guys.